years for what would be the first deployment to the California-Mexico border under Governor Brown, addressing President Trump's plan for increased security.
We are not going to be making any arrests.
While Sergeant Aquino is not heading to San Diego due to an injury, many from her military police unit are. In the last week, around 400 volunteer soldiers from different units and ranks trained at Camp Roberts in Monterey. Sergeant Aquino couldn't get into details about troop movements and training, but she says the note clearly stated that the guardsmen will not be dealing with any immigration-related arrests or the building of a border wall.
We're not authorized to do any of those.
Instead, they will be working in a supportive role to the National Border Patrol, focusing on patrolling gangs, human trafficking, and drug and weapons smuggling.
Entry control points or exit control points.
According to the note, the border mission begins Thursday. Many of her fellow soldiers are already making their own ways down to San Diego and El Centro. The hope is that their volunteer service doesn't jeopardize their life outside the uniform when they return, perhaps in a few months.
You're talking about citizen soldiers or leaving their jobs for an undetermined amount of time and asking employers to hold their job for them while they're gone. So it's very difficult, even though we do enjoy doing what we do.
Rena Nakano, 10 News.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions is calling in assistant U.S. attorneys and immigration judges to deal with the backlog at the border. 49 people were moved into Customs and Border Patrol today asking for asylum. 77 people from the caravan have been allowed to have their claims processed. But Sessions wants to send a strong message.
We're sending a message worldwide. Don't come illegally. Make your claim to enter America in the lawful way and wait your turn.
A new study shows more than 75% of asylum cases from El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala were denied between 2012 and 2017.
The man accused of trying to sexually assault a woman at an Old Town hotel is scheduled to appear in court this week. Jason Jones was arrested yesterday after he reportedly walked into a women's restroom at the Hilton Garden Inn and tried to attack a woman. She was able to run into the lobby and ask for help. Jones was found at a park nearby. He was out on parole at the time.
New tonight, a billionaire is now backing the defense attorney looking to be San Diego's top prosecutor. George Soros has funneled millions to Democrats in similar district attorney races all across the country. Our 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena is in the live center. And Lindsay, this isn't the only big development in San Diego's DA race today.
No, not at all. We're seeing that Deputy Public Defender Genevieve Jones-Wright being backed by George Soros, as you said, and Steffen's campaign coming out with this website tonight against what they say is anti-law enforcement money coming here to San Diego. Meanwhile, Genevieve Jones-Wright also leveling some very serious allegations against Steffen's campaign with the Office of the Attorney General.
A white man got off with a slap on the wrist, while the black man faces prison. Jeff Ashton, justice for some, not for all.
One of many successful campaign ads for DA funded by political action committees backed by billionaire financier George Soros. And tonight, 10 News learning a similar effort is underway here. The California Justice and Public Safety PAC purchased ads to begin airing on Thursday, supporting District Attorney candidate Genevieve Jones-Wright. The Center for Responsive Politics lists Soros Fund Management under the PAC's donor tab. We reached out to opponent Summer Steffen's campaign, which says the move isn't surprising, but it is worrisome.
It's very difficult for us to keep up with the amount of spending that Mr. Soros will spend in San Diego trying to affect this election. I mean, I expect that we will be outspent probably 4-1.
In response, the campaign unveiling this website, threattosandiego.com, detailing why they believe Jones-Wright is unfit to be DA. Also uncovered by 10 News, this letter from Jones-Wright to the Attorney General, accusing Steffen's campaign of violations.
She has violated the law numerous times by having uniformed police officers there participating in politics on behalf of her campaign.
Some people might think it is suspect that you are filing this allegation on the same day or around the same time that we are learning about an influx of a lot of money into this election in your favor. What is your response to that?
So absolutely not. As you know, I was not aware of the monies that you speak of. I still am not aware of it. This obviously is a very organized filing that we did at a timestamp today before I got your call.
Steffens' camp denied they violated any campaign rules.
We've been very careful to make sure that there's a separation between her official responsibilities and the campaign.
Now, once again, barring any unforeseen circumstances, this race will be decided after the June election since there are only 2 candidates. Reporting in the Live Center, Lindsay Pena, 10 News.
Lindsay, thank you. If the name George Soros is new to you, here's some background and his involvement with politics. He's an 87-year-old Hungarian-born billionaire who made his fortune in hedge funds. So far in 2018, he is listed as the 3rd highest disclosed campaign donor to outside spending groups with more than $7 million, all to Democrats. His PACs have backed the winning DA candidates in Philadelphia, Portsmouth, Virginia, and San Antonio, Texas.
We have breaking news now from Escondido, where police are trying to find the gunman who shot and killed someone. This is a live picture from the 10 News breaking news tracker. This is on Grape Street. The shooting happened just after 10 o'clock tonight. Little else is known. We'll let you know if there are any breaking developments with that. San Diego County could get $311 million in funding from California's new gas tax. The state's Transportation Commission staff recommended the amount, and the money would go toward improving our roads and adding carpool lanes. The commission will vote on final approval when it meets in San Diego later this month. The funds are coming from the same gas tax that opponents are trying to appeal. 10 News was there on Monday when the signed petitions were turned into the registrar's office. Gubernatorial candidate Gavin Newsom got fired up about the repeal when he talked today at Grossmont College.
It's sort of easy politics to say no, but then they offer nothing in terms of an alternative. They'll take $52 billion off the table, all the jobs that are created, all the projects that can be complete, and they offer nothing except rhetoric.
The gas tax went up 12.5 cents last November, and other DMV fees went up as well. A break-in in the South Bay, another military family targeted, the disturbing clue left behind that has them terrified.
Expecting drugs, a Border Patrol agent finds a tiger cub stuffed into a duffel bag instead.
The first thing I saw was a couple of big paws sitting there.
How rescuers are nursing that lost cat back to health.
An activity for the Viking warrior in all of us, the new local facility allowing you to chuck battle axes.
And from cool and wet to a warm-up, I'll pinpoint when temperatures will peak. 10 News is back in 90 seconds.
Burglars caught on video breaking into yet another apartment garage in Chula Vista. More than a dozen garages have been broken into in just the past week. Our 10 News reporter Jennifer Dela Cruz is live. And Jen, they left something very alarming behind this time.
Yeah, not only did they break into more garages this morning, one resident tells me the thieves left behind a magazine loaded with bullets. So these break-ins keep happening. Neighbors are becoming victims, and still no one is getting any answers. In the middle of the night, thieves strike again at the Pinnacle at Otay Ranch. You can't see them, but you can hear them going through the belongings of a military family.
You hear the video of them speaking, you're like, no way, I can't believe that that's my garage.
Rummaging through thousands of dollars in gear, but only taking an empty duffel bag.
It's surprising that they didn't bother with anything. It was almost like they didn't know what they were looking for. I'm not really sure what the motive was. None of these Christmas lights or any of that was touched. None of these other duffel bags, which was just his military gear.
It's what victims say they left behind that's worrying them the most. A Gatorade bottle, suitcase, and a magazine loaded with bullets.
To think, that anything could happen to me, and in turn that can affect my family and my children is a frightening feeling for sure.
She says they also broke into several other garages early this morning, adding to about a dozen garages ransacked at that same complex last week. Many of them military members fighting for our country.
They do so much for the community and for everybody and for all of us, to feel safe. To target them specifically is just disappointing.
Police have been searching for the thieves, but tonight they're still out there.
You don't know. If they're armed and dangerous, then you don't want to take that risk on your family, but just making sure that your home is secure would probably be the best thing that you could do.
Police tell me these thieves are using things like screwdrivers to pry open the doors that lead into these garages. Chula Vista police are out here tonight patrolling the area and searching for those thieves. Reporting live in Chula Vista, Jennifer Dela Cruz, 10 News.
Take